Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review Last Flag Flying, a film that stars Bryan Cranston, Steve Carell and Laurence Fishburne. And it is a comedy drama, I suppose is the best way I could describe this. And this is a film that I kind of knew was out there and existed, but I stumbled across it the other day and I thought, well, I'll give this a go. Who wouldn't with a cast like this? And I have to say, after watching it, absolutely loved this movie. Came out of nowhere for me, this one. And it is such a beautifully made movie and beautifully acted movie. I felt really strongly about doing a review for this one because it is such a fantastic movie. And what this movie about basically is, we have Steve Carell, who is basically a grieving father. He's lost his son, who was out in the Middle East and was killed in action. And to deal with this, to cope with this loss, because he lost his wife some time ago through breast cancer, he seeks out two of his former comrades that he fought with in the Vietnam War. And this movie is set in 2003, I think. So he searches out Bryan Cranston's character, who is in his squad in Vietnam, and they also together search out Laurence Fishburne's character, who was also in their squad in Vietnam, who is now a preacher as well. And they think, Laurence Fishburne and Bryan Cranston just think they're kind of catching up, sort of thing. And then he drops the bombshell, Steve Carell, that he's just lost his son. He's just been informed, and they're going to fly him over and give him like a hero's burial, because they fed him the usual spiel that, you know, he died a hero fighting for his country, etc, etc. And Steve Carell wants his two former comrades and friends to go with him to support him, and obviously they agree to do this. Now there is, it doesn't go deeply into this, but there is some history between them when they were in the war. Steve Carell's character spent 3 years or 2 years in the brig, I think, for something that they did in Vietnam, and he took the brunt of it, and Laurence Fishburne and Bryan Cranston's character got away with it. And it kind of explains, but doesn't explain fully what happened there, but you get the gist. It was to do with morphine and drugs. So they agree to go with him, both Laurence Fishburne and Bryan Cranston's characters, to support him through this. When they get to Arlington, which is where the body's flown in, the Marine Corps place, the truth is revealed by one of his son's friends that in actual fact he didn't die a hero. He was basically just buying a few cans of coke for his friends at the local establishment, and he got a bullet in the head by one of the locals, in the back of the head in fact, and this crushes Steve Carell even more, and he decides he's going to take his son home, his coffin home, and bury him with his wife, much to the dismay of the Marines, who think he should be buried in like the Marine graveyard cemetery. So this then turns into a cross-country trip. What they thought, Bryan Cranston and Laurence Fishburne, was just going to be like an overnight type thing, turns into much more than that, and they in actual fact decide to stick with him and help him get his son's coffin back home. And like I say, it's a road trip by this point. You know, they try hiring like a truck, and trains, all this sort of stuff, to try and get the body home. And this, with this being a light comedy as well, there are a few light moments, mainly due to Bryan Cranston's character, who's fantastic in this movie. I mean, I could watch Bryan Cranston reading the dictionary. He's such a good actor, and he's such a captivating actor, and he plays this character who is the rogue of the group. He's never really grown up. He's, quick-witted, and grates an awful lot on Laurence Fishburne's character, who is now a preacher, who obviously was a bit of a goer in his day, as he keeps reminding him, Bryan Cranston. So the chemistry between these guys is what keeps this movie going. Getting his son's body home, supporting him, reliving the old times, having a bit of fun, catching up, bonding, reconnecting, and it's just a fantastic movie. This, it really, really is. It's worth it alone just to watch these three guys perform together. It's worth price of admission just for that. But the story in itself is beautiful, and I don't mind admitting I shed a bit of a tear at the end. It was beautiful. It really, really fantastically, beautifully made film, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Yeah, it maybe does go on a little bit when it goes on about, you know, the trials and tribulations of war, and how, you know, it's never changed from Vietnam to, you know, Iraq and Afghanistan and all this kind of stuff, and they do bleat on a little bit, which I suppose some people may find tiresome. Didn't bother me, because these guys just kept this film interesting consistently throughout this movie. Three incredible performances, really fantastic movie, and I'm really, really glad I saw it and watched it, and I highly recommend that you guys do the same. Fabulous movie, highly recommend it.